Madam Rita Upon wins 2016. Good evening, it's 1900 GMT and a warm welcome to News Hour, coming to you live from the studios of GBC24. We are also live on Ghana Television. My name is Evans Achampon. I'm here with...
My name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. Thank you so much for joining us for the news. In the details.
Portugal's former Prime Minister Antonio Guterres has unofficially been selected as the next U.S. Secretary General. He is expected to be officially endorsed in the coming days.
Government says it will continue to evenly distribute projects that meet the development needs of the people without any considerations. Vice President Kwesi Arthur made these comments at the Siwa in the Bosume Freho district when he inaugurated the district assembly complex and other projects. Nuto Bibini Nuto reports.
Siwa is the capital of Bosume Freho district, one of the young districts that was created less than a decade ago. Evidence of the speedy pace of development include the newly built Bosume Freho district magistrate court building and a bus for the community's senior high technical school, which complements the classroom facilities, teachers' blocks, and several other structures. Under the stewardship of the Mahama-led administration, an ultra-modern story building has been inaugurated by Vice President Emisa Arthur at Siwa to serve as an office complex for the Bosume Freho District Assembly. The facility was funded by the government of Ghana and constructed by a local civil engineer, Messrs. Losbell Limited of Kumasi. After touring the facility, Vice President Emisa Arthur expressed satisfaction at the quality of work done. Later, he also inaugurated a multi-purpose story complex for the Ghana Education Service. The building has offices and conference facilities. All of these projects were realized under the stewardship of the Bosume Freho District Chief Executive, who doubles as the NDC parliamentary candidate for the area, Mr. Kwame Adakwa, who, according to the chiefs of Kokofu, is an asset to the people.
This is for me, no. Ye be dear na me dear and so many. Me dear yeah no. Nothing says oh. The Adakwa me bona basu kesipa. Obaga just was standing elections because just said there be more standing. Na ban bi obabia so nya kro Nyankopon kro na odi party be ya ban ya. Me we say ono me dis wa me ya. Sam kachira no. Say he has a party be a good job. What do you my ban and Rabban can say me the memoir? Me Padakwa or baby mamma me no brass.
But to Mr. Adakwa and Vice President Emisa Arthur, meeting the development needs of the people is what democracy is all about.
Education officers of Professor Moeso na local government minister to me say a day be my interpreting. And you told my na almost with Mukakla. And Yamia Dom Ghana buying any the need of other Roma, and also you see Abrosaya, and also see Ophelia Colbert for Nanya Banya no ba, which is Manado. Been what by Jmaway and Uje. Ya Ghana Yehubi. A ban Ben Uje Jmawa Shason, a say Sika, because that Shajuanason. Wankodo or say. Inti Yampede the Masan Botu in Organan, and yes, Yam, Don Mahama. A Jumana watch us sin about Trado, ma we watch us sin na Yakodo Ghana Puntu Abba. No man Penimbia Wako Jina home, no Kade, if you are not no crowd, and join him for being come. I said, in Fiana near the river Kawa, not your Mahama, why are none, Anche, or there yet turn do, ma with tomb, why ye man.
The campaign launch of the Bosume Freho constituency of the ruling NDC afforded Vice President Emisa Arthur the opportunity to introduce Mr. Kwame Adakwa as the ideal candidate with a proven track record to deliver development to the constituents. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Siwa.
Now, government has announced that teachers whose appointments were put on hold for lack of proper documentation on their professional backgrounds are being validated and paid. President Mahama, who announced this in Sunyani at a national ceremony to mark World Teachers' Day, also praised teachers for upping their game, evidenced in good exam results, in a reduction in teacher absenteeism, and an increase in the number of teachers who prepare tuition notes. Madam Rita Opon of Sowalding Junior High School at Ashalibuche in Accra won overall Best Teacher Award, which earned her a 3-bedroom house.
Teachers are recognized worldwide on Teachers' Day for being the key agents and facilitators of education. It is generally accepted that education is the driver of development, a belief that has stressed the importance of teachers. The few years gone by have marked a watershed in what used to be the teachers' poor conditions of service, seen in the number of measures to turn around their circumstances. The theme for this year's National Teachers Awards was Valuing Teachers, Improving Their Status. Rita Opon, a junior high school teacher in Accra, won the Best Teacher Award. Her prizes were a 3-bedroom house and a check for 100,000 Ghana cedis. The first runner-up was Samuel Kofi Boateng, a teacher at Ghana Secondary Technical in Western Region. He got a Toyota pickup vehicle. The second runner-up went to Suleimana Salami Inusa of Sacred Heart Senior High School at Nswatre in the Bono Ahafo region, who got a saloon car. All 3 award winners had XIC insurance cover. President Mahama capped statements by other officials which outlined increased support for the education sector. The sector gets the largest budgetary support.
Our interventions at the basic level in the provision of exercise books, core textbooks, school uniforms, school sandals, dictionaries, and other programs are also beginning to yield results. Results from the BEC this year appear to vindicate the investment that we have been making over the last several years in our educational system at that level. I therefore, as President, want to congratulate all the teachers and staff who prepared this year's batch of BECE students for a very good job done.
Civil society, education officials, and traditional rulers commended the Mahama administration for adding to the stock and improving existing infrastructure. The new Community Day senior high schools were singled out for mention.
The Upper East region, home to a population of a little over 1 million, is the poorest region in the country. The poverty levels have been further compounded by the lack of adequate rainfall, which has affected agricultural activities. The intervention of the Ministry of Agriculture through the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, GCAP, is transforming farming in the region, providing irrigation facilities, among others, to farmers.
The Upper East region has been described as the poorest region in the country. Now, this region sees just about 3 months of rainfall throughout the year, and for the rest of the year, most of the people in this part of the country sit idle.
This is pito, made from what, millet? Why are you taking alcohol this early morning? Have you
This is mainly due to the fact that commercial activities in this part of the country are very slow. That's mainly due to the fact that the people have access to farming only 3 months out of the 12 months in a year, and this is because rainfall is not very consistent. And anytime the dry season comes, many of the young people have no jobs. The few of them who have decided to go into agriculture have problems accessing funds to finance their farming. Agriculture has been identified as one of the platforms that the people can use to better their lives. Thankfully, the Ministry of Agric has introduced a program known as the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, which aims at adding value to farmers and making them produce on commercial basis.
The idea is that we virtually through our intervention making farming
much more interesting for the youth, because it's no more as labor intensive as we came to meet it, because the youth can now relax in their offices on the farm. As you saw, we just came out of Malam's office, an office on the farm. It's a new concept, because you don't need to be very dirty to farm these days, and we are making it possible for farmers to do that.
The Ministry of Agric is convinced that if proper irrigation systems are developed in these areas, that could go in a long way to help solve the problem of unemployment, as it will provide all year round employment for people, especially young people who want to go into agriculture.
We are promoting issues of irrigation. We believe that we cannot continue to depend on the rains. That's why we are supporting them with the pivot system, center pivot system to do irrigation. You had issues of post-harvest loss. We are coming out with the wire housing. Land development is also another issue, and which he has rightly mentioned. So that's most of the interventions. We have a few projects that we intervene when we think that is necessary.
Many of them also do not have the wherewithal and the desire to even go into agriculture in the first place, and that's because there's a perception that agric is a preserve of the old people. Solomon here is a graduate of the University for Development Studies. He holds a bachelor's degree, and yet he is into farming.
Farming has actually influenced my life, because I feel free to feed the family, my parents, and assist other people around that are also smallholder farmers. GCAP has actually supported us to devolve the land up to the stage he has devolved the land up to 531 acres, and they've also assisted with a solar pump borehole, which we use to produce vegetables within the dry season.
We have ordered 1,000 tractors to come. As I speak now, 549 are standing at the engineering department. Government has subsidized 50% on each tractor. If you are not able to buy, 5 of you, 10 of you, put your heads together and buy one, and make sure that it is available to plow your land anytime you need it.
From Chichiliga here in the Upper East region, I am Abdul Haimumen, reporting for GBC24.
And now 11 out of 13 workers of the Ghana National Gas Company, whose appointments were terminated following a demonstration, can now apply to be reinstated. This comes after a series of consultations between management of the company and the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations, as well as the General Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union in Accra.
On the 26th of August this year, workers of the Ghana National Gas Company embarked on a demonstration to register their displeasure about what they called mismanagement. After the incident, management of the company suspended some of the workers at the gas processing plant at Atuabo in the Western region, while terminating the appointment of 13 others. At a media briefing to announce the latest development about the issue, the General Secretary of the Ghana Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union, Fusheni Idrisu, said the workers of the Ghana National Gas Company embarked on a demonstration which lasted for about 40 minutes and not a strike action as was reported. He said after a series of meetings between management of the company and the Petroleum Ministry and the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations, the decision was reversed.
Those people whom management claimed they were dismissed, because out there they said they were dismissed. It has been accepted that they weren't dismissed, their appointment were terminated. And those people who were 4, now they have agreed that 2 of them will be considered to reapply and be reinstated. Now, those other 9 whose appointments were terminated but could reapply have also been asked to reapply and will be considered, and that is going to, the consideration will be within 4 months with effect from 1st September 2016 when they were given those letters. So looking at it, we as a union, we think that some of them who are given two months suspensions, 1 month suspension, but should be getting to work by now.
The first National Vice Chairman of the General Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union, Mr. Samuel Boatin said the union is still negotiating for 2 others whose fate hangs in the balance.
In State of the Race this evening, the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akufo-Addo, has asked party faithful to ignore breakaway candidates of the party who are running as independent parliamentary candidates. Campaigning for votes in the Ablekuma West constituency, Nana said the NPP follows the rule of law and principles and not individual interests. Nana also appealed to the people to give the NPP the mandate come December 2016 and vote for Mrs. Esla Owusu Ekufo as the parliamentary candidate.
Nana Akufo-Addo started his tour at Shabu, where he revealed that the party will only support the elected parliamentary candidates. He urged supporters to vote for Mrs. Esla Owusu Ekufo in the December polls.
Revival of the National Health Insurance Scheme, free senior high school education, one district, one factory. I did not abandon. Size some makato na Yakupo Brekwama meba be yado pepe.
At Glefe, Nana asked Ghanaians to vote for the NPP so that the one district, one factory policy can be implemented. He then went on to respond to comments made by Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur that some people have plans to rig the election, saying the NPP has no intention of doing so.
We are coming to change the facts of life in our country so that we can bring a better living for our people.
The team then moved to Dansoman last stop, where Nana addressed some party faithful.
We're going to do a new budget for Ghana, and every constituency is going to get $1 million in the capital item of our budget.
Nana and his entourage also made stops at Nashawa, Tunga and First Stop, where he promised to implement his one district, one factory policy and provide jobs. The team made its final stop at the Dansoman Snit Flats.
Development family back. Say about the boy in control. That was what many Zongo Penny about the trust. But we are like a corner of the Texas career. I take a few fast war every person.
And Ghana is hosting this year's summit of the African Grouping of the Socialist International. The grouping is an umbrella body that believes in the philosophy of social democracy. In all, political parties from 35 African countries will be attending the meeting. The Secretary General of the Socialist International, Mr. Louis Ayali, has arrived in Ghana to attend the meeting.
International is the largest organization of political grouping. Worldwide, the organization has 152 members, with 52 of its members in power. They believe in the philosophy of social democracy, thus building infrastructure and systems to make the society as equal as possible. The African grouping, like the mother organization, meet regularly to share ideas on how to make life better for their citizens. Between the 7th and 8th of this month, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, would play host to about 35 political parties across Africa. The Functional Executive Committee of the NDC, led by a member of the NDC Manifesto Committee, Mr. Lee Okran, welcomed the Executive Secretary of Socialist International, Mr. Louis Ayali, who is in the country to participate in the summit.
We hope it will be a very successful one because 35 countries parties from 35 countries are going to be represented. And I hope our comrades will have a successful deliberations and everybody will go back to his countries satisfied.
Mr. Louis Ayale commended Ghana for being a good example of democracy. He also applauded President Mahama for representing the concept of social democracy.
On the record of the government of President Mahama, of the capacity of our political movement, internationally and worldwide, to deliver in these fundamental questions. This is the main struggle today in the world. It's about creating a society which will be more equal, with more opportunities, more inclusive. And particularly in Africa, this is a very important struggle. It's about all the things that you are committed in defeating poverty through education, opportunity for health, creating jobs, and social protection.
The members are expected to share ideas and learn from the success stories of its members. The flag bearer of the National Democratic Party, NDP, has appealed to Queen Mothers to step up their roles as opinion leaders in their various communities to help build women empowerment. She made the call when she met with the Queen Mothers in Greater Accra region to solicit for ideas and support for the party and its policies that seek to create jobs for the youth.
During discussions, the Queen Mothers shared their ideas and raised some concerns pertaining to restrictions they encounter in playing their roles as expected. Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings advised the Queen Mothers not to relent in their efforts to help build the nation. She said her party has the youth at heart, and when voted into power, she will see to youth employment to ease the burden on parents, especially mothers. She mentioned the reintroduction of apprenticeship programs into the education structure to help reduce streetism and youth unemployment.
I am looking at this apprenticeship program. I am looking at technical skills. I'm looking at life skills and social skills. It is part of our manifesto. But I didn't want to bring all this in. I'm just talking about how to get the Queen Mothers empowered so they can look after their communities properly. When you are that way, you go on holidays, you have an auntie who is a baker. Your mother will say, this term, for your holidays, you are going to learn how to bake bread. Every morning, near Pianco, those days, so there were no machines. Our hands. Somebody will go and learn how to make kenke. Somebody will go and learn how to make shoe repairs, and so on and so forth. So you learn something. Let us bring that back in the form of apprenticeship. And this is part of my program with my party, NDP, and we will push this agenda at all costs.
The Queen Mothers expressed their appreciation for the opportunity given to them and called for more of such platforms to enable them voice their opinions. The NDP and their presidential candidate promised to make such opportunities available to the Queen Mothers at all times and, if possible, organize such programs in the various regions to expand their reach to women and the youth through Queen Mothers. Miriam Adomako Boating, GBC24, Accra.
You are watching the news, and we are live on GBC24 and GTV. Time to take a breather. When we get back, Maurice Ogbete has business.
The people pay you Queen Dr. Pepe go see Dubai no fan get too far. Yet our child yes so. Yet our child yes so. Akwa ipo nariye. Akwa ipo nariye Demi ya. Na sopa obede. Na sopa obede. Na sopa obede. Ankaya, yes sir. Let our child, yes sir. Akwa ipo nariye. Akwa ipo nariye Demi ya.
Hello again, my name is Maurice Ogbete. Got latest from the world of business. Now, Ghanaian banks can now print Visa and MasterCards in a matter of 2 days. They can also do so without seeking the services of companies outside the country. This follows the opening of the first ever Visa, MasterCard and EMP certified card personalization bureau in Accra. The bureau, owned and operated by Mobility Technologies, can print up to 30,000 cards per day. Prior to the opening of the bureau, most banks in Ghana printed their Visa and MasterCards with a turnaround time of 2 to 3 weeks. Others are forced to get this service outside Ghana. According to Mobility Technologies, this development did not only create jobs outside the country, but also denied Ghana the needed foreign exchange. The co-founder and chief executive of Mobility International, Mohammed Abed, said the new bureau is in the position to print Visa cards in 48 hours.
Our facility has been audited rigorously and certified based on the toughest PCI standards. We are once again the only such certified facility in Ghana.
Special advisor to the governor of the central bank, Mr. Franklin Belnye, described the new service as an innovation in the banking sector, while urging the company to be security conscious.
Bank of Ghana is interested in promoting a cash-light society. But cash-light society means that we're going to rely more on technology, on cards, and other payment modes. But they also come with all kinds of risks. So that's why when I heard Mohammed talk about the facility being compliant with PCS, DSS, and all those international standards, I was encouraged. And I think we need to continue to improve upon those things. Following the four reports that we discussed last year, we've asked all the banks to move away from mark stripe to chip and pin because it's more secure.
Mobility International also launched a digital kiosk designed to function as a bank branch on its own. The kiosk can do everything from cash handling, statement printing, deposit, to instant card issuance and live customer support through video call.
Some of the biggest banks in Ghana have 100 plus branches. Yeah. So why don't they have 300, 400 branches? The reason is because A, it is very expensive to open a branch, and B, it is very expensive to maintain the branch. This addresses both the concerns. So instead of having a branch, you set up a kiosk. It provides all the functionality that they can do in a branch in a cheaper way and in a more efficient way. So this is how technology is able to contribute in terms of getting the service to the end customer improved.
Mobility International says their product and services are designed to exceed customer expectations. And still in business, Minister for Trade and Industry Ecospio Gabra has underscored the significance of West Africa as an investment destination and the need for the business community and government leaders to network and explore opportunities and partnerships for growth. Speaking at the Standard Bank West African Conference in Accra, Mr. Spio Gabra said physical trade barriers are a challenge to intra-African trade and investment.
The Standard Bank West Africa Conference is aimed at the bank's commercial banking clients in sub-Saharan Africa who are interested in expanding their operations or partnering businesses in West Africa across a range of sectors from retail to infrastructure, agriculture, construction, manufacturing and information technology. The slump in commodity prices on the world market has slowed economic growth on the continent, but experts still believe that West Africa offers multiple avenues for investment with the right policies. The conference has attracted delegates from Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, Cote d'Ivoire, China, South Africa, as well as clients from the Southern and Eastern Africa. Speakers called for the formulation of policies to limit the barriers to trade and scale up intra-African trade and investment on the continent. These views were echoed by a senior special assistant on trade and investment to the President of Nigeria, Dr. Olajumoke Oduwale, and the head of commercial banking at Stanbic Bank Ghana, Abdul Jalil Hussein.
The challenge is infrastructure.
So till all the countries come together to finish off the infrastructure projects, the roads, the rail, all the projects that we've started, till we invest, then we're not really going to be able to solve it. We have to be able to, apart from the bottlenecks that we experience around particular borders, we have to invest in infrastructure. We have to have the Lagos to Cote d'Ivoire to Dakar, smooth roads, so that trucks can move on overnight and get their goods to destination by morning.
African businesses are really excited about connecting to each other. So it is not the case of unwillingness of businesses to connect with each other. It's a case of how do the private sector as financial institutions and how do governments facilitate and make things easier for African entrepreneurs. If there's any one thing that we have picked up from these conferences, it is that there's a lot of zeal, there's a lot of willingness for the businesses to connect. They are hungry for those opportunities. So if these challenges are highlighted and are dealt with, we are very confident that African intra-trade would jump tremendously.
The Minister for Trade and Industry for Ghana, Ekospio Gabra, said promoting intra-African trade calls for the full commitment of policymakers and the private sector.
Buyers and sellers need to find themselves easily on the same platform. And so those who use the eBays, the Alibabas and other such trading platforms, you go there and all the products you want to buy are listed there, the prices are there, the cost of shipment and distribution are also indicated, but there's no real platform like that for Africa. So if you want to buy tea from Kenya, you end up buying that tea from a European supplier. If you want to buy flowers from East Africa, you may end up buying it from Rotterdam. If the East Africans also want to buy from us, they may also have to go to Europe to buy their chocolates. So if we can provide a platform that allows us to see our products more directly, then we can, South Africans can buy more Ghanaian products and we can also buy more Moroccan products. That's what the e-commerce platforms are supposed to help achieve, to reduce transaction costs and to make products more visible to the buyer and to allow suppliers and buyers to meet each other electronically.
According to Standard Bank, these conferences are some of the measures put in place by the bank to fulfill its vision to play an integral role in driving growth in Africa and demonstrating a commitment to commercial businesses and entrepreneurs.
Let's talk agriculture, because a consortium led by Solidaridad has outdoored a $74 million project focusing on creating employment opportunities for young people in the cocoa sector. The 5-year project, dubbed MASO, is targeting more than 200,000 economically disadvantaged youth, both Ghana and Uganda.
The MASO initiative is aimed at encouraging young men and women to take up cocoa farming, first as a business to earn a decent income, and secondly to help breed a new generation that will take over from the current aged cocoa farmers. Ultimately, MASO is meant to help sustain Ghana's cocoa production. The initiative, which began in January this year, is a $74 million project being undertaken in Ghana and Uganda. It is being championed by a 5-member consortium made up of both local and foreign organizations. They are Solidaridad, MasterCard Foundation, Overseas Development Institute, Global Communities, NCBA, CLUSA, and GO. The initiative targets to reach out to 81,661 youth with a target retention number of 29,000 by the end of the project. As part of the initiative, the beneficiary youth will also receive training in financial management and savings, as well as modern production practices. Mr. Isaac Jemfi is the regional director of Solidaridad.
The project, worth $74 million, will go into supporting the youth in cocoa farming.
$74 million. And yes, kaketwa. Ne fabi ena ababedu Solidaridad. Aye ni ejuma kuo ahorobe se 9 atokesese yebeboa. Na ye ne fa eboa ma mrantie ne maba wanya mpuntu wo asitinem no ye dia fa cocoa so amasa mpuntu no aba.
The Ashanti Regional Director of the Cocoa Health and Extension Division of the Cocoa Board, Mrs. Faustina Asimeni, commended the organizations for initiating the MASO project. She said government through Cocoa Board has introduced a number of incentives and interventions that aim at boosting and sustaining cocoa production in the country.
As we speak, we have registered over 46,000 young men and women in our Youth in Cocoa program. It is interesting to note that these youth groups are initiatives of the youth themselves, suggesting that cocoa cultivation is becoming attractive to our young men and women.
At this point, to go over to the interbank market and get latest figures on how the local currency is performing. We also bring you latest prices of major commodities on the international market. With the insurance news brought to you by SIC Live. Now, Regency Name Insurance Limited has officially been launched in Accra. The company is a merger between Regency Alliance Insurance Company and Name Insurance Limited.
Regency Alliance Insurance Company and Name Insurance Limited entered into the insurance industry in 2008 and 2009 respectively. Both companies provide services like burglary and housebreaking insurance, motor vehicular insurance, fire and special perils insurance, marine cargo and haul insurance, personal and householder or house owners insurance to help the company increase its customer base and provide them with better services. Regency Alliance Insurance Company and Name Insurance Limited have merged. The merger is to enable the company to better position itself in the insurance industry to serve its customers better.
Ultimately, the customer is meant to benefit from this, from the synergy, from the scale, from the resources, the managerial resources that we have put together. Obviously, we would operate now with innovative ideas. And that's where our customers are going to benefit.
The chairman of Regency Name Insurance Ghana Limited, Mr. Edward Pienim, was confident that the company will be a reference point in the insurance industry.
Our existing customers and prospective customers should be assured that we give our best in services and pay claims promptly. Indeed, we shall settle and pay claims, legitimate claims, promptly.
The Commissioner of Insurance, Madam Lydia Laribabawa, urged Regency Name Insurance Limited to intensify the education on insurance in the country.
The Commission has also taken steps to build the requisite capacity to ease the practical implementation of the framework. All of these are aimed at creating a safe, sound and stable insurance market in Ghana where customers are treated fairly.
Management of Regency Name Insurance Limited say they will continue to provide customers with tailor-made products that better suits their needs and pay claims promptly.
Insurance news was brought to you by SIC Live.
You're welcome back. This is the health segment brought to you by FPAC. FPAC blows your pain away. Now, a drug for the cure of HIV and AIDS has been discovered in Ghana. The injectable known as COA-72 is clinically proven to be a potential breakthrough in the treatment of HIV and AIDS. It is introduced into the cells of the HIV and AIDS patient to flush out the virus from the system. An independent researcher and founder of the Center for Awareness, Dr. Samuel Atu Duncan, is the brain behind the drug.
The COA-72 is a potent plant extract which supports the human immunity system to fight HIV, AIDS, and other blood-related diseases. The drug has the ability to reduce the HIV virus to undetectable levels and even cure it. It has also the ability to revive dead cells and protect healthy ones. The drug has received reviews from renowned scientists, the Center for Scientist Research into Plant Medicine, Ekuapem Mampo, and Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research, with the accompanying detailed clinical test. Dr. Samuel Atu Duncan, the brain behind the drug, disclosed that his quest to find a cure for HIV/AIDS began following the death of all the 53 HIV patients adopted by his agency.
The last straw was when our last patient, a lady called Mercy, said to us on her sickbed, with tears oozing from her eyes, I quote, "My brothers and sisters, this sickness called HIV/AIDS is painful. Nobody should contract it." The Center of Awareness therefore started the research on the 26th, and on the 26th of August 2006, a formula was derived, an agent was developed, and the pilot scientific research started in Ghana and ended in South Africa.
Bandu Imdlalose and Chinan Ngubani are both South African HIV patients. They were treated with COA-72 and have been cured.
I've been living with HIV for so long that I've also lost my sister through HIV, that I'm also afraid that I'm going to die. But my biggest pain was dying without bringing change to our society, was dying without bringing hope and life to the next generation. I decided to embark on a journey of volunteering with my life and test whether this could be the real cure of what our people want. Could this be the real cure of our future generation?
I'm one of those who you can believe today, standing in front of you, having gone through the processes of COA-72. But he said this is we'll begin with an oral administration, if I'm not mistaken, where you just drink the bottle. From day one, when I drank the bottle, I was expecting, you see, African things, if it becomes to medicine, they are difficult to, consume, very harsh, sour, and, and all that. COA was so mild, it's like, almost like water, we change.
And that was the health segment brought to you by FPAC. In sports tonight, Black Stars deputy captain and West Ham FC star Andre Dede Ayew is in Ghana with some West Ham FC officials. The officials will be sharing their expertise with 20 Ghana Premier League coaches in a workshop in Accra.
A high-powered delegation from English Premiership side West Ham United, in the company of their Ghanaian star Andre Dede Ayew, are in Accra for a historic visit. The team arrived on Tuesday night. In collaboration with their sponsor Betway, West Ham is visiting the country to demonstrate their solidarity to their Ghanaian fan base and establish a strong foothold in the minds and hearts of its Ghanaian supporters.
We have come to Ghana to two reasons mainly. Firstly, to help our principal sponsor Betway grow their Ghanaian markets, and secondly, to help grow the global West Ham brand. So we see African football, in particular Ghana, as a real key growth market for us as a club, and obviously with Andre and Ashley here, we can use the power of these two players to help promote the West Ham brand to Ghana. For the next 2 days, Tommy and Stin, who work with our first team, are going to take a coaching session with our university team. We'll be going to a Betway store to help them launch there, and then go to a shopping mall so Ghanaian West Ham fans and football fans in general can meet Ashley and Andre.
You know, Ghanaians, we love football, and we love English football, and I've seen the love that has been behind West Ham since I joined the club. So it's good for the club, it's good for me also to be here. We're going to feel the love of the West Ham supporters in Ghana, and all the people that love football in Ghana. So, you know, I'm very happy, and hopefully it will you know, make the young guys dream also to become football players and help the West Ham brand go further.
Officials said the visit is part of the club's outreach program to Africa.
And former national team coach Fred Osam Dodu has passed away after battling illness over the past weeks. The 1978 AFCON winning coach passed away Tuesday evening at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where he had been admitted. The late Osam Dodu won the African Cup of Nations with Ghana in 1978 and also coached in other African countries, including Gambia, where he led them to lift the 2005 Under-17 African Youth Championship trophy. He won the 1993 African Under-20 Nations Cup and a silver medal at the 1993 FIFA World Youth Championship. He also coached senior national team, the Black Stars, at various periods from 1978 to 1981, 1988 to 1989, and also in 2002. He acted as Technical Director and Secretary General of the Ghana Football Association at a point and was the President of the Coaches Association. He was also a CAF and FIFA instructor. We pause here for a breather and return with more news.
In the arts and entertainment segment, music goes through different stages in the studio before finally becoming ready for use. Depending on the rhythm and genre, different instrumental sounds like the piano and keyboard and the guitar are put together in composing the beats.
When you line up, extra music.
Someone who makes music is called a musician. Eager to find out what goes into music production, the news team took a trip to Evergreen Studios in Accra. When we got there, we met a sound engineer called Skinny Willis, who has produced hit songs for seasoned artists like Kontihene Obrafo, award-winning artist Stoneboy, among others. He took the crew through the process of instrumentation. Upon basis of this, that an artist can put his voice or lyrics on it. The two combined, a song is composed.
When the artist comes into the studio with his song written on the paper, he first sings it to me. So when I listen, I go deeper into the lyrics. Then I start to program from scratch. That we take it from the bass, drums, to the guitars and all, to the snares and all those kind of things to build up the beat. Sometimes some comes in and the beat is already programmed. So they listen to it and they go like, yeah, I like this beat. So they choose it and then they write the lyrics to the beat.
He said it takes about an hour for the instrumentation to become whole, but to get a perfect work done, it sometimes lasts a week. This is because it takes a great deal of thinking to inject creative ideas in the instrumentation. Etuomu Yesu is one of Kontihene's hit songs, currently enjoying airplay both on radio and television. During recording, one makes a lot of mistakes and have to retake his or her verses several times before you strike the perfect note. It's KD put a song together with his friend Frimpong whilst in the studio in less than 30 minutes.
Ghana elections when the good works hard, it be forgetting the nyasempa. Heard the masses are angry, affair, run with it to a bar in the air. Open your eyes, cause love is about. The beat is nice and I'm rapping along by the truth. Be saying I love it, of course, me a